next guest here on the show today is a self-made billionaire, literally started his empire from scratch. And as we said before the break, he's in that target audience for the Democrats who want to raise taxes on the so-called rich.
And he's also speaking tomorrow at a United Nations conference on social change. He's speaking on sustainability. Joining us now is Jon Paul Dejoria, CEO and co-founder of Paul Mitchell, and he also owns Patron Spirits, among other companies. Jon Paul, great of you to be here. I always like saying Jon Paul Billionaire, just because it's not very often we get to sit this close to one.
America works.
Politicians, the Democrats want to raise your taxes. They want to sock it to you. How do you feel about that?
I think they're looking at it incorrectly. If they came to people that made more money, that were fortunate enough because of our way of life to make more money, and said this: we're going to cut the stupid deficit, this overspending, by $4 or $5 trillion in the next 10 years. However, we want to cut it an additional $1 trillion. Would you guys pitch in some money? All go towards deficit reduction, additional what we're going to do? I'd say, heck yes, I'll pay those extra taxes. But if you want to charge extra taxes to throw money away and not help all of America, then I'd say absolutely not. Give politicians more money to waste? Absolutely not. But do something good, we'd all pitch in.
So you don't think that's what's happening? I mean, because that would be there. If you ask them, they say, that is what we want to do with it. We want to pay down the deficit. But you think it's going to go to useless kind of spending on programs that don't work.
Yes, because what they've got to do is cut the spending now and reduce the deficit. In addition to them reducing the deficit and the spending, then we pitch in also to reduce it further. Then it works. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
If it does go through, if something like that went through, a surtax on millionaires, there's the Buffett tax that's been thrown out there, raising the upper income tax rates, what would it do to the economy?
Well, I think it would hurt the economy and build the deficit even larger if that's what they're going to do. They would say, well, every time we want to raise more money or we want to spend more money, we'll just tax somebody that's making more money. Well, this is stupid, because people that are making good money, if they're smart and they're Americans, invest back in America. Like right now, I make some pretty good money. Even money I make overseas is reinvested in new companies and more people. At Patron Spirits, we've hired more people. At Paul Mitchell, we've hired more people. At Paul Mitchell schools, we open more schools, bring more people into the cosmetology area, and they're finding jobs left and right. They're out there. It's how you approach it.
So what do you think then, as a prominent member of the business community, of all these essentially attacks on business that are taking place? We have these protests down on Wall Street, and they're in their third week now. I know it's all about Wall Street, but it's really about corporations, and they're angry about so-called corporate greed. What do you make of that?
Corporations have a lot of extra money right now. That is correct, okay? But they're holding back spending it because of all these regulations and stipulations that are out there to try and hire somebody, which are stupid. Let America work. We're hiring people, but we're making it work. Things will work if you let people do it. There's jobs out there. If you go to jpselects.com, especially an entrepreneur, you could find a way to make money and not spend money. Example, you have a new business, something new you want to do. You have no warehouse, no office, no money. Hey, go to JP Selects. They'll warehouse for you. They will ship for you. They'll collect the money for you, and they'll promote it over the internet. If you're sustainable, only if you're sustainable and checked out to be sustainable. So here's sustainability, helping entrepreneurs without spending a lot of money get their products out and make some money and still be sustainable.
That's what you're going to be talking about at this UN conference, and you mentioned this in the break. What's interesting about this is it brings together business people like yourself, very successful ones, and the bureaucrats, something that seems to be lacking down in Washington, D.C., a complete misunderstanding of the way business works.
That is so true. Everyone's got to be helped, and people have to remember that. We, the people, want to help out everybody. People that don't have jobs, people that have some jobs, people that want to have better jobs. We, the people, have to help everybody out. But you can't do it by robbing from the rich and giving it all to those that don't want to work. What you got to do is put it all together so it makes sense, where people actually can have jobs and people that have the extra money want to hire them. And then people that are actually working can spend some money now. But you got to do this, shall we say, in a manner that affects everybody. You can't target them as the bad guy, these other guys as the good guys. You have to work together. They're not doing that right now. I think, no disrespect to our administration right now, man, it's not working. Get with the people. Get with some business people. Let us help. We'll do it free. We won't charge you any money. We love the people. I have food programs. I have programs going on where we help people feed themselves in Appalachia. Gives them dignity. We have programs going on in Los Angeles and other parts of the nation where we take the unemployed and teach them how to get jobs and make sure they're fed, they have a place to stay until they get those jobs. We help the kids out. We, the people, can solve all this. It's a culture we teach everybody, for example, in Paul Mitchell schools. 14,000 students are learning this culture. And it works today. People say, well, why should people invest today, start a new business? How do you do it? Find shortcuts like jpselects.com, where you find that shortcut, go on, who's going to give you a helping hand?
Right.
We like having you on. You got
Love
a
having you
tremendous amount of passion, which is, no secret why you've been successful. So,
But I think
it
if the protesters, just one quick second in there, were more passionate about how to fix it, not who to blame.
Had ideas.
Exactly. How do we fix this together? That's what we do. We fix things. We hire people. We invest in America and new businesses because we believe America and its future. More people do that, the sooner we're out of this crazy stuff we're in now.
Well said, John Paul. It's great to
God
see you.
bless America.
Come back.
It still works. It really does.
Optimism for a change. Thanks for coming on.
I know, and solutions. Thank you so much.
You betcha.
Good to see you. Take care. More